Hey guys, so this is gonna be a little bit different video than I've made before because I'm actually talking in a modding video. So for the past 2 weeks I've been working on this fcoEditor. For those who don't know, the fco file is actually a subtitle container for Sonic Generations, and so in the past we only have this Sonic Generation fco text converter, which is really all you can do is, type something at the bottom and then it converts the hex for you, and then you have to replace the file in XXD. So I've made this program for the purpose of making FCO editing much more intrusive and much easier for you. So let's take a look on the FCO editor. So that's by me, special thanks. So shout out to N69bit for helping me cracking those file formats. And I made this nice little logo here and with Omo Chow hiding in the back because that's what this program for, edit subtitles. You can also edit subtitles for cutscene as well. First of all, let's just find a file right here. Actually, maybe put up Japanese. Let's extract this. Okay, so let's open up an FCO file. So this one is in the actual Omo Chow subtitles. So after you load it, let's take a look on the right side first. So this is structure of the SCO file. So you have all the groups here. If you double click it, you'll expand it and you'll see all the subtitles inside that group. So the setup for ID, I'm not actually sure what that actually means, but the setup for ID is what you reference when you place an Omo Chow inside Sonic G level, and then you have this setup for ID element there. You can check the setup for ID right here directly. So how the setup for ID is generated is just based on the order of your subtitles. So first based on a group. So for example here, enemy is the third group, not counting the first one. So you times that by 1,000, and then inside the group, that's the order of the subtitle. You just add the number to it. So that kind of means that the maximum of subtitles for each group is 999. I'm not sure what will happen afterwards, but I doubt you need that anyway. So let's look at the top first. So you can actually add new groups and new subtitles because the setup for IDs is just auto-generated, like I said. So if we add a new group, it will automatically add a new group at the bottom and also a new subtitle, and it also generates the new setup for ID. So in order to add new subtitles, you have to double click on the subtitle inside a group first, then you can add more new subtitles, just like that. So for deleting subtitles, this will be a little bit risky if you are deleting something in the middle, because like I said, the ID is auto-generated. So if you delete something in the middle, for example this one, 15,004, if I delete this one, it will change everything after it. So if you delete the entire group, for example this one, shadow right here, it will change silver into 9,000. So you gotta be very careful to do that. So right now I'm just gonna delete the no name group right here. Oh, not subtitle. Delete the current group. So I don't have to worry about that because it's at the bottom, so it's not gonna change the ID. So we can also reorder the groups. So again, you have to double click it to select the group, and then you can move it up and down. I just have a warning here because again, if you move the group up and down, it's gonna change the ID for all of them. Right now you can't really see the difference because there's, they're literally the same. So again, move subtitles also does the same thing. It changes the ID. So just like that. So you can, basic controls like expand all, collapse all. You can also find subtitles. So let me just reopen this file real quick. So for this video, I want to change the silver. We don't have time. Let's get to Elise right away. So we're just gonna search silver right here, and it will find the subtitle for you, and then you go into the edit mode immediately. So in order to edit the subtitle, you just double click into that, and then you can start editing it. So let's take a look on the left side now. So we have the group name and the subtitle name here. The group name and the subtitle name actually does nothing for Omochao, but it matters for the cutscene subtitles, because these names are actually referenced in the cutscene compared to Omochao, which reference the ID instead. So let's start editing the subtitles here. So this is where you change the subtitle. If you change anything here, look at the bottom, you will see the preview that will appear in game, which is very nice. So for the previous fcoEditor only supports English. So mine actually supports all the languages, including French, Russian, any Latin languages really, and also Japanese. So if you actually look at the folder I given out, you can see a database raw. So you can open this file here. You can check all the characters that is supported by this program. So you can see all the kanjis over here, Japanese over here, and Russian in the middle. And there's also like special characters like star, square. I'm not sure if you need it, but anyways. So what I'm gonna do in this video is to change this into Japanese. So let's go ahead and do that. I have this photo right here. So let's move that at the bottom, I think. Yep. Okay, so let's start doing that. Let me change the language to Japanese. So Shiruba. There we go. Shiruba. Jikan. There we go. Ga nai. Isoide. It actually has a suggestion here because I've already done this before, but so Erisu. Oh. Erisu no moto ni mukau. So unfortunately, not all the kanjis are supported. So you can see this mu kanji here is not supported. So I actually have a tutorial after this segment here to show you how to add special characters. So for now, let's just change back to the hiragana mu, like that. So you can see the status okay. You can see a nice preview down there, which is almost exactly the same. Oh, there's actually more to talk about subtitles here. So there's also special characters like A button, B button, X, Y, LB, RB, LT, RT, so on and so forth. So in order to type special characters, you need to type a / first, and type A, and then / again. And then you can also see the nice little preview at the bottom here, the A button. The alignment is kind of off, but you can sort of get an idea what it will look in game. So you'll also have B button, start, select. Oh, we don't have select. Yes, that's the back button for the Xbox. So yeah, Y, LT, so on and so forth. You get the idea. So if you're not sure what special buttons are supported, you can always go to the file I gave it to you, the fcodatabase.txt. You can see all the special characters right here. Okay, so let's go back to the subtitles here. Let's delete these. So color blocks. What is color blocks? So if you pay attention to the Omochao, you can see there's sometimes it will highlight a text in orange. So that's what the color blocks is doing, is to define which segment in the subtitle to be highlighted. So if we add one right here, it will automatically change the first two into the orange color. So you can change the color over here. So you can actually change the color of the subtitle. It's not only limited to orange. So let me, for example, if I want to change this to cyan for silver, and you can also change the alpha. You can use the slider and drag it up and down and type the number by yourself. So it's pretty neat. And you can also drag the start index and the end index. So the start and end index is, so this one is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, the space is 4, 5, 6, 7. So if you drag it, you'll see the immediate change in the subtitles to see what will be highlighted. Just like that. And you can drag the start like that. So let's just drag it back to silver. And if you want to add more color blocks, you can also do that. So for example, I want to highlight Elise to, let's just do orange. Let's just drag it over there. So the lower the color block is, takes the higher priority. So you can also move the color blocks up and down using the buttons right here. So move it up, move it down. So because right now the cyan is higher priority, it will cover up the orange text. So let's move this to here, and there we go. So you can add as many color blocks as you want. You can just delete that over here. Hey, it's me from the future. So in the process of making the video, I've added some new functionalities into my program. So the first thing I got request is to have this hide static field ID buttons, which just hide it, just to make it look simpler, because some like subtitles in the hub world doesn't have the static field ID, so just you can just hide that and make it more readable. And the next thing is I have added something called the default color. So what it does is, if you set this color to red like this, for example, you don't have to use any color block to set the whole entire sentence to be red. You can just set the default color to that. And there's also something called a hard-coded color. So the hard-coded color is basically based on what background the game is using. So for Omochao, there is going to be a black background, so that the hard-coded color will be white. But for hub worlds, the text is actually using white background, so it's going to be black in color. So the color blocks also has the hard-coded color. You can just mix and match all these stuff together. So if I set like Sonic to the hard-coded color, it will appear white, just like that. The last thing I have added, let's just not apply the changes. The last thing I have added is that some text in the hub world, it's more than 3 lines long, so previously it won't display it correctly. So if you choose the subtitles like this, it will extend the window and show you how it looks like in game. So if you have too many lines like that, it will start, the scrolling, so it doesn't like expand too much. You can't see the entire screen. If there's only 2 rows, then it will be an Omochao. Well, theoretically, it's going to be Omochao, so it display default like an Omochao subtitle. But if you add more than 3 rows, then it changes the color to black. And that's it. Back to the past. The last 2 buttons. To reset the subtitle, well, obviously I'm not going to do that right now. And then apply the changes. So every time you change the subtitles, you must click the apply changes. Otherwise, if you double click on other subtitles, you would discard any unsaved changes. So let's just save that. And you can see on the right side, the subtitles has been changed. And that's it. Oh, one more thing. So if you want to change the group name for cutscene subtitles, if you change that, you don't have to save it. It will automatically change once you typed it. So right now, I'll just go back to that. And the same goes for the subtitles. You'll apply it immediately. You don't have to apply any changes. And that's all. So after that, you can just save the original, overwrite the original file, or save as a new file. So I'll just save that. It'll say file save successful. Oh, before we actually check it inside the game, we have to go to the archive, of course, to replace the actual game hint file. So let's just do that. So let's take a look inside the game. And there you go. It looks exactly the same as the preview. It's fast, it's easy. Have fun. So because there are over 2,000 kanjis, not all of them is supported by the game. So if you want to add the unsupported one, you'll have to add it by yourself. So I actually have a quick guide over here at Unsupported Characters. You can see the steps over here, and I'll just go through it with you. So first you will need the HXD with the data inspector, which I have right here. You can see the data inspector on the right side. You will need the GIMP2 with the DDS plugin, so you can read the texture from the game. Then you will need this new font, which I have provided in the installation folder right here. So you can just double click it and install it right here. And the last thing you will need is the Generations Archive Editor, which if you are modding, you probably already have this. So first of all, we will have to close the fcoEditor because we actually have to refresh the program. Let's just quit without saving. So first, you will have to go to the installation folder and then open the fcodatabase.txt. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and then add your new character at the bottom. So 00000557, and you have to follow the exact spacing and format of this file, otherwise you'll break the program. So I'll add this new character, new kanji mu over here. So give it a little line break and save. Close that. The next thing we have to do is to go to your mod folder, go to bb2, and there should be a converse common.al here. Extract that, and then go into the folder. So these 4 texture here is how they find the characters if you open it. So if you check inside, you can see all the characters the game supports. So what we're gonna do is to go to the 3rd texture and then add the new ones at the blank space over here. So open GIMP 2.0 and then drag the 3rd texture, all 002.dds, into this, and it will open the file right here. So zoom down at the bottom right here, add new text. So make sure you change that to the new font, size 22, and also the color to be white. So let's just add the new character right here. Paste, and here we go. What I'm gonna do is to line up this new kanji here with the one above it, and also the ones on the left side. So I can't actually use the arrow keys here, that kind of suck. So let's just move it to the right, and that should be good enough. Okay, so that should be good enough. So after that, you have to merge this text layer down, so it will merge to the original file, and then you can override the original texture, and then if you open it, you can see the texture at the bottom right here. So keep GIMP open. The next thing you have to do is open up HXD and open the file all.fte, this one first. So open this one up. I suggest you to change the byte size to 28 for this one. Oh, no, not 28. This one is 24. Okay, so if we go to bytes offset 68, so these 4 bytes determines the size of how many characters it supports. So we just add 1 right here. So there you go. And then if we scroll all the way to the bottom, we'll copy 1 row and paste at the end. It will change the size, obviously. So the first 4 bytes is which texture it's gonna use. So if we actually go look at the top right here, it will state the 4 texture it's gonna reference. So this one will be 0, 1, 2, and then 3. So obviously we're gonna use the second one, so we'll keep that as 2. So the next 16 bytes here are actually the right, top, left, and bottom pixels in percentage. So what I mean by that, if So if you go back to GIMP and select the area here, you can change, you can see the position and the size in pixels. So if you change the position to percentage, you can see it's 29.1. So if we change it into decibels, so 0.2910. So each 4 bytes in floats is the percentage itself. So if we check on the data inspector, if we go to single float 32, you can see the number is completely wrong because we have to change the byte order to bit endian first. So right now you can see this 4 bytes is 0.2597, which is the character over here. So you can see 2578 close enough, somewhere around here. So 0.25 something something is the left pixel, and then the next one is the top pixel, and right and the bottom pixel. So because I already lined up with the character above it and the ones on the left side, we can just take the x-axis of the one above and the y-axis of the ones on the left. We're gonna have to find which one in the text file is actually this kanji character here. So in order to do that, there's actually a way to check what character it is. So if we highlight these 2 bytes over here, if you look at the right side, you can see the white char here, which is this kanji right here, which is the one right here. So if we go up and then find the kanji we want, which is this one right here. So what we're gonna do is to copy the x-axis of this one right here, copy at the bottom, go back to it, copy the x right pixel, and then paste it over here, and that's it. And for the y-axis, we can just find the one on the left side over here. So this one, for example, this one. Oh, perfect. So we're gonna copy this, the y top pixel, paste that, and the y bottom pixel right here. And there we go. So if you want to change it to your own, percentage number, you can directly change that here by editing the inside the data inspector, and then it will automatically translate into hex for you. So the next one, next 2 bytes here, I already told you that is the character itself. So if we go to the data inspector, the y char, it's the last character in the texture. So now we can just change that into the new character, which if I open back the database file, I can just copy that. I can just copy that and then paste it right here, enter, and then it will change the hex for you. And the last 2 bytes is always 0015, so we don't have to care about that. After that, we just save the file and we're done with this file. So the next thing we're gonna do is to open the fco file. So this one, all.fco. This is not actually a file that contains the subtitles, so don't open that in the fcoEditor, it'll crash the program. So if we open that and change the byte size to 28, there we go, nice and lined up. So if we go to the offset 24, these 4 bytes, again, is the size of the characters. So this is a little bit different. I forgot why it is, but we're just gonna add 1 right here. And then if we scroll all the way to the bottom, again, copy one row, paste insert. So the first 4 bytes is always 001. Don't have to care about that. So the next byte here is supposed to reference the character in ASCII, but because Japanese is not ASCII, they just put it to 3F for every single one, which is just a question mark. If we scroll up, you can see on the right side, you can see WXYZ, Z, all these ASCII characters, but after that, you can see a bunch of question mark because obviously 1 byte can't represent Unicode. So we don't have to care about that. And we have 3 bytes of padding, and 4 bytes 1, I don't know what it does again. And then after that, it's actually the same number we have typed in the database file. So if you remember that, we just change that to 0557 and save the file, and you have add a new character in the game. So if we close this, replace the original converse common, and now we can go back to the fcoEditor. So now, if we change this to Mukau, so, and now we can see the new character has been added. So let's test that in the game. So let's save the file. Oh, okay, yes, I sometimes forgot about that as well. You have to apply changes right here. So apply, and then save. And then go to your language folder. Japanese game hint. Place that. And voila! You have successfully added a new unsupported character in the game. See you guys next time.